For 27 years, no one saw him. No phone. No electricity. No company. Just him. And the forest. They called him a ghost. A myth. Some said he died long ago. Others believed he was never real. But deep inside that forgotten jungle, there was a man, with a beard down to his chest, wearing rags that had melted into his skin, and a gaze that held secrets too heavy for the world. His name? Even he had forgotten it. They found him by accident. Two hikers lost, chasing the sound of running water. Instead, they found a shack, built from sticks, stones, and silence. No locks. No doors. No fear. And then he stepped out. His eyes squinted in the light like he hadn't seen the sun in years. He didn't speak. He just looked at them, like he was staring through them, like he knew something they didn't. And when he finally opened his mouth, he said, "You shouldn't have come here." Not yet. For a few seconds, the two hikers didn't say a word. They couldn't. Because the man in front of them looked like he had just crawled out of time itself. His skin was sunburned and cracked. His nails were long and yellowed. And his eyes looked like they had watched civilizations rise and fall. One of the hikers finally broke the silence. "Are you okay, sir?" But the man didn't answer. Instead, he turned his back and walked into the forest again, slow and certain, as if he knew they would follow. And they did, because some part of them knew. This wasn't just a crazy man in the woods. This was a story the world had forgotten. A story that was waiting to be heard. He led them deep, past dead trees, over broken bridges, through thick vines, until they reached a clearing. A small space where the ground was clean, too clean. There were symbols carved into the soil. Old, African, tribal, not random, ritualistic. And that's when he finally spoke again. But not in English. Not in any modern language. It was like a chant. A whisper from another world. The hikers looked at each other, confused, a little scared. But he continued, now with tears forming in his eyes. He pointed at the sky, then at the ground. Then he said something they could finally understand. "I left the world, because the world lied." Then he dropped to his knees, took a deep breath, and looked up again. And what he said next made both men freeze. "They think I'm hiding. But I'm guarding something. Something the world must never find again." And right then, a loud cracking sound came from behind the trees. Like someone or something was watching them. The sound behind the trees grew louder. Branches snapped. Birds scattered. The two hikers turned instantly, eyes wide, hearts pounding. But there was nothing. Nothing but the deep, suffocating silence of the forest. They turned back to the old man. But he was gone. Vanished. No footsteps. No trail. No shadow. Only the carvings in the ground, and a heavy, eerie stillness. And then one of them noticed it. A strange wooden box half buried near the tree roots. Old, cracked, sealed shut with rope and wax. On it, one word was scratched in deep letters. Ukombozi. It means redemption in Swahili. They didn't dare open it. Not yet. Because suddenly, the forest didn't feel empty anymore. It felt aware. Like the trees were watching. Like the soil itself remembered things no one should. They rushed back to camp with the box in hand. And as soon as they got signal, they posted the story. Within 24 hours, the entire country was watching. Thousands of comments. Conspiracy theories. Speculations. Some said the man was a war criminal in hiding. Others claimed he was the last member of a forgotten tribe. But then something even stranger happened. An old woman nearly 90 years old, from a village over 300 miles away, saw the video. She didn't hesitate. She made one phone call, to a number she hadn't dialed in over 27 years. When the call connected, she said only one thing. "He's alive. Tell them not to touch the box. If they do, it'll start again." But what did she mean by start again? What was in that box? Why had he disappeared? And most importantly, what was this man protecting with his own life? For 27 years, the box was finally opened. Not by the two hikers, but by a government research team that arrived 48 hours later. Fully equipped. Armed. Serious. Inside they didn't find gold. Not documents. Not weapons. They found a single scroll, wrapped in cloth made of bark and ashes. Alongside it, a hand-carved wooden pendant, the shape of a serpent circling the sun. And then, the forest changed. Suddenly, birds stopped singing. Insects vanished. Even the air felt heavier. The elders from the nearby villages refused to go near the place. They said it had been sealed for a reason. But what reason? Then came the old woman. The same one who made the mysterious phone call. They flew her in by helicopter, and when she stepped out, she didn't speak. She cried. She looked at the pendant, and whispered. He kept his promise. He kept it alive. They asked her what it meant. What promise? And she finally told them the story. 27 years ago, her village made a pact. Not with the government. Not with rebels. But with something older. Something hidden deep in the forest. An entity they called the Bound One. A spirit? A god? A curse? No one knows. But there had been a sickness. A darkness. Children vanishing. Animals turning violent. Rain refusing to fall. And in exchange for peace, one man had to live in complete isolation, guarding the place where the entity had been trapped, feeding it the right herbs, reciting the chants every full moon, never speaking to another human again. That man was him. Not a hermit. Not a madman. A guardian. Chosen. Burdened. Forgotten. Until now. And now that the box had been opened, the pact was broken. The question wasn't, what happens next? It was, can it be stopped again? The next morning, he was gone. No footprints. No signs of struggle. No farewell. Only the pendant, hanging on a tree branch, still warm to the touch. The scroll? Vanished. The research team searched every inch of the forest. With drones, dogs, helicopters. Nothing. It was as if the earth had swallowed him whole, or he had melted back into the woods. But strange things began to happen. Animals started returning. Birds sang again. The air felt lighter. And near the place where he once slept, a single tree grew, taller than the rest. Its leaves golden. Its bark soft like skin. Locals say if you sit near that tree at midnight, you can hear breathing. Not the wind. Breathing. And sometimes, a voice, whispering things like, I'm still here. I never left. I made a promise. No one has dared to build on that land. Not even the government. The area is now marked as a silent zone. No cameras, no talking, no interference. Only whispers. Only memory. And somewhere deep in that forest, a man who chose to carry the weight of an entire people, in total silence, for 27 years, may still be watching. Or maybe, he became something else entirely. End of story. Now you hit them with your outro voice. If this story moved you, shocked you, or made you wonder, hit that subscribe button, because more real, mysterious, and emotional stories are coming. And remember, some people disappear to protect us all.